happening, fellow fantasy GMs? I am DJ Wang. He is the bearded one, DJ Dove. And with our powers combined, we are the Fantasy Couriers.
Dude, I was telling you before this has been gut punch week for the fantasy teams of DJ Dove. I had 9 teams in the quarterfinals, 33% success rate. 2 teams that had scored, one team had scored over 200, 2 teams had scored 200 or some odd more points than every other team in the league. Pummeled.
Yeah,
I'm in a grumpy old mood. I'm going to start yelling soon.
33% success rate is pretty good. I don't know why you'd be upset.
Because the teams that I want to win aren't winning. I think that's why I told the team that I'm going to win the most money with is winning. And I'm like, cool. The team that Bourbon's the one that's our big Bourbon Bowl league. That one's just kicking me in my OG time. So there's just teams there's teams that you want to just win. I don't care about winning the money. It's just to finally get that trophy. But Monkey's still on the back.
Yeah, I see what you're saying, but I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, it's just like real life. Some teams win, some teams lose, no matter how good they are. I mean, best team doesn't always win.
And it was a rough week. I just watched hope Pat Bryant's okay. He just got hammered by a linebacker. Injuries continue to go. I mean, Gardner Minshew, apparently you can't be a Chiefs quarterback without tearing your ACL. Supposedly that's going to be coming. Let's see, who else did I see? There's just a bunch of guys limping off the field. It's getting to that point in the year, and it makes me wonder, we talked about if they add that extra game, there'll be the extra bye week. How will they? I wonder how they have to adjust teams for the injuries that are already occurring and growing.
I don't think I think the only thing they'll do is they might add more roster spots. But other than that, there's really nothing they can do. I mean, if they want to add an extra game, they're going to add an extra game, make more money, and the best they can do is add a few extra roster spots. These billionaires can give 2 cents about these players. They do not care. They're all replaceable, and no matter who you replace them with, they're still going to make the same amount of money. It doesn't really matter. Just like
I would have killed to have some replaceable guys on my team, like Devontae Adams on one team and Rashee Rice on one team. And who else did I lose? It was bad.
Yeah.
And Travis Kelce, who's apparently dead. He played.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting much out of anybody on the Chiefs today. So
I thought, when Minshew came in, like this thing, I was wrong. We talked about it on Tuesday. We were like thinking they would sling, especially versus the terrible Titans. But apparently, the Titans don't want to have that first pick that teams like the Dolphins will give them their next 12 years of number 1 picks. Like I totally see my stupid team doing something like that when the news is coming out of them offering 4 first-round picks for Burrow. That they'll do something silly like try to offer just a dozen picks for the number 1 pick this year.
I mean, maybe, but I mean, I'm not. I mean, just briefly looking at the quarterback so far in college. I mean, I don't think I'd pick one of these guys as a number 1 pick, honestly. I mean, that sounds about what you would have to pay for a quarterback like that. I mean, Joe Burrow was a consensus number 1 pick. I mean, there was no arguments there. Would somebody give up for it? I mean, that's a lot. But I mean, if you knew that you would have a franchise quarterback for the next 12 years, I mean, Joe Burrow has had injuries, sure, but I mean, when he plays, I mean, he's been fantastic. I mean, 4 first rounds for 12 years of top tier quarterback play. I mean, it's kind of worth it, right?
Say the kid from Oregon might be the kid going first, so I got to watch him just go bonkers last night. But yeah, so everybody, check out our sponsor, Fast Draft. I was on there the other day. They just started to know that fantasy never ends. They just put up their first contest for the 2026 season, a best ball contest. It's called a way too early or some sort of contest. So if you want to get ahead and already look forward to next year because you're like, dude, 25, my team sucked so bad. There is fantasy playoffs. I did see DraftKings is doing like a fantasy playoff kind of thing. I'm like, I might do that just because
Ugh.
it gives me something to pay attention to. If I'm like, I don't want to watch some team I don't like versus some team I don't like, then I root for a player. That's how fantasy say football for people with terrible teams. So that's kind of a fun little thing. And also thank goodness we're using Riverside here to keep us rolling because we froze and we have all sorts of fun internet fun going on, which you never talk about in a podcast unless you're unprofessional. So hey, what's up? So JJ Wang, what are we going to be doing this week?
There's a little hodgepodge of things. I got a couple for real questions, a couple would you rather questions. Not nothing too different than what we do every week. Trying to get guys that I haven't talked about a whole lot. I don't like talking about the same guys over and over, but it's kind of hard when you're in week 16. There's only so many guys you can really talk about, but we'll see what
And
happens.
this week, though, you're also looking in most leagues. There's 4 teams left, so I was trying to look at that as when we get to surefire waste. There's 1 or 2 guys I threw in going, not wasted, but at this point, if you're playing them, you're having a team. Like I had a team today where I had to start David Sills.
Oh, nice.
Like the waiver wire was dead. Woody Marks went down right at the last minute. Wasn't gonna, and I should have started Mark Andrews. I would have got more than 0 points, but maybe 3 more points. So it didn't matter. But yeah, it cost me. I lost to a 7-17, but that was the 4 seed. So it is what it is. It's just the way fantasy goes. So let's get rolling. Let's have some fun here. You want to drop, don't you? Let's see what I got.
Oh, I mean, I don't have to. I'm just used to you doing it. So I was just
here you go.
Here waiting. That's fine. Like I said, this kind of a disappointing week for me in fantasy. Pretty much all my teams have lost out of the playoffs, so I won't even have. I've got no dog in any fight from this point going forward. So now exciting for me, but it is what it is. It happens. You can't win every year, right?
Yeah. We don't win. Like we always we were on the Turf War show in the summer, and they're like, "How many championships have you won?" I'm like, there's only a couple because realistically, there was a good point made when I was talking to Susan. She's like, getting to the playoffs, that's what takes skill. So I could hit the playoffs, but winning the playoffs, that's luck. I lost to a dude today, my buddy Jason, my other buddy. I got a gazillion buddies named Jason. He had Kenny Gainwell. Who in their right mind is thinking I'm in the quarterfinals starting Kenny freaking Gainwell? Like Kenny Gainwell's had a good year, but you're not expecting him to get those gajillion points. Or right now, as we're closing this out, Isaac Tesla is having like the game of his life. Like he just got the Lions to the 2-yard line. So that's where we are in life. Anybody's wondering when we record tonight. You can check me out Tuesday. I think it's our last Turf War show. We're debating if we're doing 1 or 2 more shows, but the Lions are getting ready maybe to win the game, and they are. Amon-Ra St. Brown. Touchdown.
Oh, okay. I could have used a few more of those earlier, but I mean, it is what it is.
Good news is that means I don't have to worry anymore because I just sealed my Berman Bowl fate. That just unless the Ravens score 75 points.
Oh, so I guess you sealed your fate in a negative way, correct?
No, it means I don't have to stress. I can just enjoy the game tonight. And I might even root for the Patriots or Drake May. Who knows?
Oh, yeah, that's not a bad idea.
And Judkins. There's another guy that got hurt. I didn't mention earlier. Judkins
broke his leg, right?
It was so bad. I was watching the show. I haven't seen a video. They're like, "We're not going to show this." Was the words of the commentators. We're not rewinding to show this. That it was so bad.
I mean, honestly, I think they should show that. I think they should say that about all of them. I don't want to see any of these guys sitting down with a broken leg. Why?
Those sideways
things. I don't understand why they show that to begin with. Like, man, if you really want to see it, go to YouTube and watch it all you want. I mean, it doesn't need to be repeated on the broadcast. I mean, who wants to see it?
Slow down when you see the house fire. That's why they show it. It's because that's what people do.
Yeah, well, I mean, I refuse. I don't want to see. I don't want to see any of that. So I don't.
Yeah, no, I was a guy still seeing some of those like sideways and backwards feet and stuff. I'm like, ugh.
All right, so
anyway, let's get to the good stuff.
As always, we'll talk about quarterbacks first. first quarterback or quarterbacks that I kind of want to bring up. We're going to go to I guess the biggest game of the week. It sounds crazy, but Jacksonville against Denver. Denver was on a roll. I mean, they were number one in the AFC. Very very surprising. And then the Jacksonville Jaguars, who are very very surprising, have been like one of the probably the hottest team over the last few weeks. A battle between Trevor Lawrence and Bo Nix. Trevor Lawrence definitely got the better of this one, and I mean overall, Trevor Lawrence is just having a fantastic year. This was kind of what we thought Trevor Lawrence was going to be. You know, coming out of college, I mean, he's currently like a top 7, top 8 quarterback. First couple games, not too great. I mean, it looked like the normal Trevor, and then since week 5, I mean, he's had one game where he finished as QB 21. Other than that, I mean, he's been top 12, top 12 type of guy. The last 2 weeks have been QB 1. Um, but I think we talked about it last week. I mean, I think I'm all in back in on Trevor Lawrence. What was your thoughts on Trevor?
Well, he might be getting me a ring. He's my second quarterback. And by the way, on a side note, that Amon-Ra touchdown didn't count,
Oh,
so they're still losing to the Steelers. So anybody who's listening to us live, which they're not, and hey, just as you know, Courier Nation, we might start doing some live shows. I'm experimenting with it on my other podcast. So I'm experimenting with it, like reading the Christmas story. I'm going to do that just to play with it. So we might do some live shows so you can call in. But yeah, no. So yeah, they're still down 5. Trevor Lawrence, dude, we got to be back in. I mean, look at the freaking Jaguars are 11-4 on the back of like a top notch. This is like that the other couple years ago, like was it the Leonard Fournette rookie year when they had that defense that was just insane. I think it was rookie second year, that nasty defense and the okay good enough offense. And they started out defense okay. We're like, it's Jaguar, and then all of a sudden, just boom, you're worried about the Jaguars defense. I mean, Bo Nix put up the yards. And now, but then what happens? How do you become the Super Bowl? I mean, this is a Super Bowl contender because Trevor Lawrence, he scored 4 more touchdowns this week. They even said in the telecast, they said he's in the MVP discussion, which I think it's too late probably for him to get there because they vote on that during the regular season. And I think they could make a run in the playoffs, but he's
well,
in that
I
discussion.
don't think it's too late for Trevor to be in the MVP discussion. I mean, they vote on it for the regular season, and regular season is clearly not over. And since week 5, I mean, he's probably been top 5 quarterback, top 3. I mean, he's been better.
I put that Stafford up there. I think we hit him
Oh
probably,
yeah,
but
I mean,
Stafford's my number one.
Yeah,
Lawrence is up there.
yeah. I mean, Stafford has been better, sure, but I mean, he's definitely got to be in the
Oh,
discussion.
he's in the discussion for sure, but I don't think he could win it. Is what I mean. Like he started too slow. Well, Stafford had a couple of duds too. I don't know.
All right, next quarterback, we'll talk about a rookie. I mean, honestly, to me, he's probably been probably one of the best, even though he's only played half the season. He's probably maybe the best rookie of the year. That's Tyler Shuck out of New Orleans.
Really?
I mean, since week 10, I mean, he's had QB 12. I mean, they had QB 23 in week 12, and then another QB 12, QB 6, QB 16, QB 13. For a guy that absolutely nobody liked, the Saints were a dreadful team. The Saints are still dreadful, but it seems like the Saints might have found a QB going into next season to where they can kind of build the rest of their team up. So Tyler Shuck, QB for the Saints next year, for real or faux real?
Oh, man, I figured out what I was going to ask. I was going to say because I think I figured out why he became good. He discovered Chris Olave's really good player. I mean, he started targeting. He did that, kind of like what Penix discovered last year.
The quarterback does.
Yeah. He finally just. It took them a long time, man. My teams with Chris Olave are eliminated because he sucked for so long. Because I love those Ohio State receivers; they're good players.
Well, yeah,
but Tyler Shuck,
he sucked up until week 8 when Tyler Shuck got into the game, got into the starting lineup, and
Tyler Shuck played early. Tyler Shuck had some sucky games too, but
well,
I think.
Hold on. Tyler Shuck started in week 8. He had his first game he was QB 25. His second game he was QB 23, and then the rest of them have been really good. Have been really good games. So I mean, you can compare that to other quarterbacks I mean, he's only had two bad games. I mean, two games. Well, actually, he's only had one game outside of QB 24. So, I mean, it's pretty impressive for Tyler Shuck.
It is like I think what it does is it lets them think about it. What because really you don't build a team. We say you do. You need a really good quarterback, but as you learned with the Texans when they started, you can start with a really good quarterback, but if your line is terrible, the quarterback dies. So it might allow them to make him their bridge. See if he turns it. Maybe there is something here. Maybe this is Tom Brady 2.0, like this guy who we thought totally was Garbo coming out of nowhere. So it depends. Do they fire the? I mean, no, he's a new coach, so they'll give him another year or two. But they need to pick up the Lions just lost on this really weird call. But do they that might eliminate them? Do they should get some line help there because that's
Well,
what teams that win have really good lines.
well,
So it
yeah.
makes them think, gives them pause.
Obviously, I mean, when you don't when you don't need to draft a quarterback, you're clearly going to start drafting on your line. I mean, you're not drafting a running back, you're not drafting a wide receiver. I mean, they're going to have a top 10 pick, I presume, maybe higher than that. So, I mean, they'll get their best choices, the top linemen, whether defense or offensive linemen. So, I mean, this just allows them to be able to build the rest of their team. And I mean, who knows? I mean, he's played good enough to get the opportunity to be the week one starter next week, I
I think you finally got me starting to believe.
think.
He threw the ball 49 times.
Hey, that's even more impressive. I mean,
I want to see like I'm curious how the Titans and Falcons. So he played decent against the Rams, only put up 10 points. The Bucks, that was right when they were okay. That was his dud game. But then it's been like the Panthers have been really the only good team they've beaten because the Bucks have died. So I mean I think you're right. I think you're right. I mean was he third rounder?
I think so. Maybe I think somewhere around there.
The game ended OPI by Amon-Ra St. Brown on a push off as he was going into the end zone, or else it would have been him falling, lateraling the ball to Jared Goff, who jumped in the end zone. So they would have won on some flunky play if he hadn't pushed off on the end zone. Anyway, there's your live update for those listening to us 2 hours after the game's over. This is how we have fun.
I got two sets of running backs here. We'll do kind of a would you rather. I got two running backs here. One missed pretty much the whole season. I think he's played the last 4 games, and the other guy has just been buns pretty much the whole season. The first one is Brees Hall of the Jets. Some people seem to think he's not going to be on the Jets next year. I've heard some people say the Jets are franchise tagging. So I mean, it kind of just depends. It depends on either way. I mean, obviously, it would be better if he moves on to another team. Has been highly, highly disappointing. And the other guy is Bucky Irving. I mean, considering what people thought Bucky Irving was going to do coming into the season, started out okay. I mean, he was okay. Missed the middle of the season, came back. He was pretty strong, and then the last 2 weeks have been pretty desperate. Of course, Tampa Bay is not playing nearly as well as we
Yeah.
thought they were. That we thought they were going to play. That whole team has just been injury ridden all year. So going into next season, who would you rather draft first, Bucky Irving or Brees Hall? Let's say Brees Hall goes to some random team. He doesn't stay with the Jets.
Uh, in Dynasty, it's different. It's Irving. And next year, I think Brees Hall's chief. I really do. Like, I think that they wanted him. I think if the Jets franchise tag him, he's going to hold out. He's not playing for the Jets. He's basically told them he's done with them. And I don't think he's going to go there unless they let him create an entire team around him, which they don't do, would be foolish. Like, I think he walks, and Bucky Irving's going to be there. I mean, Bucky's getting the touches. They've got to figure out something in Tampa. I don't know what happened that they've just recently become a giant team of poop. I mean, he's still getting the touches. I wish he was involved a little more in the passing game, but he's had 15 touches every game except for his first game, and he hasn't eclipsed 100 yards yet. So I'm still worried about that. At least Brees has had some 100-yard games, so I got to go with Brees. Probably Brees at this moment, even with the Jets, because Bucky, who's you knew preseason was one of my favorites. And part of the reason a couple of my teams were total poop is because I drafted Bucky Irving on my redraft team. So I'll go with Brees mainly because I think he's going to be a Chief. And I mean, where else? I mean, he could be no, they signed Jordan Mason, Viking, but I still have faith in Brees Hall and Bucky, but I think Brees will be in a better situation without Rashad White and Sean Tucker as well. So I think that'll he might
Yeah,
have Kareem Hunt.
I think I'd go with Brees Hall there too. I mean, just like I just feels like he's more of a typical,
He'll,
bigger style running back.
and he'll be 25
Yeah,
next year, and Bucky will
Year
be
will be 24. So I mean, they're
yeah, age is
relatively the same age.
tread's different, but age is the same.
Oh yeah, yeah. Another two more guys. I got two rookies. Ashton Genty had a monster game today. I mean, it ended up having 120 rushing yards, 6 receiving yards, two touchdowns, one rushing and one receiving. Raiders still lose even after that game. Raiders are so bad. And then the other guy is a guy that's coming on really hot lately. That's R.J. Harvey. The last 4 weeks, he's been top 10 running back. I mean, he had last week he was RB 24. But other than that, since he's pretty much had the starting role, he only had what 7 attempts today. That was I didn't realize it. Probably could have gave him the ball a couple more times. So being that RJ Harvey's coming on strong at the end of the season, and Genty's had a ho hum of a season, is Genty still the guy going into next year, or would you consider picking Harvey with the better team?
I think they're close, to be honest. I mean, you're going with you're still gonna Genty is still gonna have some like that Brees Hall kind of thing. You know, Brees Hall's he's not been great, but we're still drafting him better than we should have. I think Genty's he'll drop what 2 rounds, maybe a or late second, early. He's still a starting running back, and this game's gonna only move him up. I mean, move him up the boards a little bit. He's not that first round pick like this year. I put him what late second, early third. And RJ Harvey, I think will still be a fourth or fifth round pick, just because we know Sean Payton he's going to bring someone in. Heck, knowing him, he'll probably sign Brees Hall just to screw with us. But I think I like RJ Harvey a lot. He's older. He's an older running back, which I don't think affects you too much because the tread's not as heavy yet. But I think you still got to go with Genty because he is doing what he did this week. And I don't know. I like Harvey. I've got Harvey. I've got no Genty, so it's not going to affect me too much. But
Yeah,
he did
I would probably pass on Genty and get Harvey a little later.
later. Yeah,
I think
I
that
agree.
would probably be more wise. I think Harvey's still going to get a lot of touches. I mean, they're not going to go away from it. I think it'll still be the RB1. Genty obviously will be the workhorse running back, but he might get more carries, but I think the efficiency won't be as good as RJ Harvey's will be. I just think Sean Payton just runs a better offense, and who knows what the Raiders are doing? They're just
You think they sack Pete Carroll? They'll give him another chance. I mean, he done
I
it.
would have already have sacked Pete Carroll.
He's old. They know they suck, so they're giving him the year, I think. And then he's gone. Gino's gone.
Once I would have sacked him, I was like, "You take your boy Geno Smith with you," and both of y'all are gone. So
Yeah,
yeah,
Jacoby Myers left. He's great now.
yeah. So I mean, it's just the
Got a
Raiders
lot
are
of
just
money too.
all right. Switching to wide receivers, I'm going to bring up probably one of the most disappointing wide receivers in the history of wide receivers. That's
Yes.
Marvin Harrison Jr. It's
Ooh,
just been absolutely abysmal. But what makes it fun? I don't want to say funny, but Kyler Murray goes down, of course. Jacoby Brissett comes in, and was it Michael Wilson?
Michael
Michael
Wilson
Wilson was
out of
like
Stanford, baby.
superstar, right? So I'm like, if Michael Wilson can do this, and Michael Wilson is just a guy, well, what's the deal with Marvin Harrison? Why can't Marvin Harrison have these games more frequently? So are we considering Marvin? Well, I don't want. Is Marvin Harrison a bust? Are we just going to be like,
Yes.
and are
Yes.
he's a bust now, clearly.
Okay.
But is he a bust in in 3 or 4 years? Are we still saying Marvin Harrison's a bust?
Unless if he's still, I don't see how we can't. There's been nothing, there's been very little shown to us to show that he's not going to be. I mean, could he learn? I mean, next year is year three. So that's the magic receiver year. Maybe he's one of those old school receivers. His dad was an old school receiver. So maybe next year he just goes ballistic. I mean, Michael Wilson was a guy who I liked coming out of Stanford. He had decent size and weight. And, you know, this is He was 2003, so this is 3, 4, 5. Yeah, this is his third year, so he did the same kind of thing, but he needed to get rid of Kyler Murray, who, once again, I think Murray's probably gone. I think we've talked about that from there, which Brissett throws to Wilson. They'll get some young quarterback from Brissett to Bridge, so Wilson will be good. I mean, here's an odd thing. Do you remember Elijah Higgins?
I remember
You
the
ever
name. I remember
He
the
was a
name.
Dolphins like putz tight end years ago. And he was their leading receiver today, 7 for 91. Like, I can't give him a surefire waste of a touchdown. I just want to highlight him putting up 91 yards. That might be his career might not be much more because he was a decent size. He's got thrown in as a trade guy, but so yeah, bust yes. I mean Wilson, he's probably going to get overdrafted next year, and he could disappoint. I don't know. I like Wilson a lot. I picked him up as quick as I could in a bunch of leagues this year.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I was one of the biggest Marvin Harrison fans coming in. It's just been a huge, huge disappointment. Guess I'm just going to have to stop buying into the nepo babies. I guess that they just don't really take after their fathers like you think they would. But yes,
I
highly
think
disappointed.
Manning's not coming into the league. I mean, his dad didn't come into the league, so
Yeah, I think Manny might be a little different. His dad didn't play in the NFL, so I think I might be able to jump on that bandwagon.
you got a year though. You heard he's going back to college,
If
right?
he's going back to college, yeah.
But I
Which is
think guys are. I think we're going to see that might be how things change with the NIL till they change it. I mean, Quinn Ewers showed today with how terrible he played. The dude would have made 7 mil to play for Texas this year. He's making one to play one game, and everybody see how sucky he is with Miami and just get completely obliterated. And he would
yeah.
have lived his dream anyway. But the $7 million.
Yeah, I mean, either way. I mean, you have a chance to go to the NFL. You got to take your chance to go to the NFL. I mean, getting through a college season isn't guaranteed.
Yeah,
And you have your chance to get drafted. Just take your opportunity. I mean, and for someone like Quinn Ewers, you never know. I mean, I think he made the right decision. He's going to have a lot of money either way. So I mean, either
yeah,
playing in the NFL or playing in college, he's still going to make more than 7 million. He's going to make more than $7 million playing in the NFL than
yeah.
that one season in college. So another wide receiver I want to bring up. I got two more. I'm gonna bring up Ted McMillan real quick. Big game. I'll talk. Carolina Panthers winning. Looks like they're going to win the NFC South somehow. I don't understand. It's got to be the
I love it. Makes me so happy.
worst division in football. But hey, shout out to them. They managed to do it. You can't help who's in your division. You can't help that they all suck. Of course, Tampa Bay wasn't expected to be bad. But Ted McMillan, he's been okay. He's been a mid wide receiver too. He's had 1 week where he was wide receiver one. This week he was wide receiver 10ish. I know you're a big fan. What do you think the ceiling on Ted McMillan is? Because they'll bring back Bryce, right?
Yeah, I think Bryce is going to come back because
Do they pay
next
Bryce?
year
Do they pay Bryce?
is next year's year 5, right?
I think so. Do they pay him?
I don't think they do. I think they do because did they pick up his, or is it year 4? It might be year 4.
I think it's year 4.
He was 2003, so next year's is year 4. So year 4 he'll play, and then they got in the offseason to decide if they pick up that year 5 option. I would totally just do that. I wouldn't make him next year Joe Flacco himself into a super contract because he's played really good this year, but not really great. But then again, in the NFL, you don't need a really great quarterback. You need a really great defense and a good quarterback and a great line, which will make him look good. Like Ted McMillan, ironically, I liked coming in, but I didn't love. And the more I watch him play, the more I really enjoy watching this kid play. And I think his ceiling is interesting for me because I like that receiving core. I like Jalen Coker. Jalen Coker's a great. To me in my brain. Him and Michael Wilson are very similar in my brain. Like they're going to be like really good number 2 guys that, they'll be like in the real world. Michael Wilson, I don't think he's not going to hit this career year. I think this might be his career year. Next year he's okay-ish. But and then if it's Xavier Leggett, he's a big dude. I mean, these guys are ginormous. These are like towering receivers, so that helps him to take some pressure off of Tet. I think having those guys there, and then giant Jadavian Sanders. That Tet is he? I think he's going to be good. What's his ceiling is? He could be a wide receiver one. I mean, he's got size, talent, and his limitation is Bryce Young. Does Bryce Young take that fourth step next year and do it, or is Bryce Young going to be like Tua, who had that good third and fourth year and then die, which screwed everybody else?
Yeah, I mean, he definitely fell off a cliff. That definitely happened. All right, last guy I want to bring up. This is for real or faux real. For real or faux real? Parker Washington is better than Brian Thomas Jr.
Are we talking about now or next year or ever?
Going forward.
Is he a better football player? Probably not. Is he a better NFL football player? Heck yeah, dude.
Well,
Why not? I mean,
he's a better
this
football
dude,
player. I mean,
sometimes it's just that year. I mean, Parker Washington right now, you've got, how can you say no? I mean, dude had 145 yards. I mean, the question is, are his routes differently? I'd love to see in the offseason. I mean, Brian Thomas Jr. got 3 targets. What are him and Justin Jefferson? What are these guys doing? These two guys, like I love Brian Thomas Jr. He was my favorite receiver last year, and he showed it in the rookie. I mean, he's what in the world is going on with this dude? He's big. But so yes, I'll say this should be a real. Parker Washington is better than Brian Thomas Jr. And until further notice.
Yeah. I think I agree with you there. I think I might draft Parker Washington before I draft Brian Thomas next year.
I mentioned him just out of curiosity. I mean, Jefferson did have a decent game. He had a really pretty catch, 6 for 85. Where I'm assuming they've got to bring JJ back, maybe bring some competition. So barring they bring in, Peyton Manning. Where does Justin Jefferson get drafted next year?
I mean, I think he falls to the second round, right?
I'm thinking there's gonna be he's gonna get he should fall to the 7th, but he's gonna get drafted based upon name. But I mean, realistically, I mean, this year it's like we'll talk about crappy players in January as part of like our month, but you're looking.
So okay, are you taking Ted McMillan over Justin Jefferson next year?
Yes, but it feels dirty. But Justin Jefferson literally has 2 games over 100 yards from the beginning of November. 47, 37, 61, 48, 4, 11, 22, and 85 are his yardage.
Are you taking George Pickens over Justin Jefferson?
Depends where he is. I think they're probably par. I mean, I think all 3 of those guys are probably with it. I bet you they could go right together, to be honest.
I would be completely honest. If I was Dallas, I don't think I would sign George Pickens.
No, I think it'd be foolish. In my brain, George Pickens is a Bill. Like I love that. I love George Pickens going to the Bills. I love Breece Hall going to the Chiefs. As far like I hate it because it makes those 2 teams that I don't want to be good even better. But as we saw today, Josh Allen, who screwed one of my teams, he better play good next week in my championship game.
I'm not necessarily thinking Breece Hall is going to make the Chiefs even better. The Chiefs were just looked absolutely dreadful all across the board this year.
Yeah, but I think Breece Hall gets there. I mean, in Rashee Rice for a whole season, get Breece Hall, Rashee Rice, you maybe find yourself no, I mean, where are these five? What is wrong with the Chiefs? What is it? The def? I don't know.
I'm not sure what it is, but I mean, it's.
I mean, Mahomes will be coming off the ACL. They say he's already rehabbing. He got out of surgery Monday, and because apparently it wasn't as bad as it could be, he'll be ready for game 1. So if you're a person looking way ahead, don't worry about Mahomes. He's starting game 1 next year.
Yeah, man.
So that's been a good thing there. No tight ends for us this week?
Oh, no. I'll bring up 2. Harold Fannin, tight end 1.
I love him so much.
I mean, it's just tight ends are just so hard to talk about. I mean, because they're just so all over the place. But Kyle Pitts, another good game. I mean, Kyle Pitts is going to finish as a top 5 tight end. Are we going to draft Kyle Pitts as a top 5 tight end next year?
We are going to draft him as a top 5 tight end. He's got a Penix problem, and that's going to be where the challenge comes. What if, say, Kirk Cousins just balls out for the rest of the year? Is there a thought? Because Kirk Cousins played very well, and he's still under contract for another 2 years with this ridiculous contract. He made Kyle Pitts, Michael Pittman. Kyle Pitts look like a stud. Bijan's killing it. They're winning games. Is you've got to think about it as that
Does
organization.
the emergence of Kyle Pitts make you worry about Drake London?
No, London's health makes me worry about Drake London. So I think because you could have a really good tight end and a really good receiver. You can have two really good receivers. Usually it's two. You got to be like that greatest show on turf to have three, or those Manning teams. But you could have two. So London, they each have their different. Because Kyle Pitts will get the intermediate, London probably get a little bit deeper. So I think they don't but I think they help each other. They help to keep the double team off of both of them. So it keeps both of them from being Puka, but yeah, and shout out to Puka. Thank you. I love you. You're my favorite.
Puka had quite the week.
Yeah, he did. He did have quite the week. The problem is none of the guys. I told you. I don't think I said it on here. I said it before.
His
The rest
brother
of the guys
gets
are getting in.
arrested. He gets some comments he probably shouldn't have made. Has a big game. Then of
You
course
get
he
fined.
calls out the referees because that's the coolest thing to do is call out the referees. Whenever something doesn't go your way, hey, let's just blame it on the referees because the referees suck.
Oh man, I hate referees,
Yeah, I
especially
mean,
young referees like in the 40s. They're the worst.
yeah. I mean,
Like soccer referees. Oh,
and it's easy. It's easy to blame the referees when you lose. I mean, it's crazy that nobody ever blames the referees when they win. It's insane. The only time you blame referees is when you lose. It's crazy.
hey, the
Absolutely,
Chiefs sent them money.
it's crazy how that happens. You only blame referees when you lose. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, it's like the referees are the reason anybody loses. It's insane.
I thought you lost because you scored less points. And if you have DK Metcalf, he might not be playing next week after punching a guy in the stands. And
Oh.
there was there's a couple. If you didn't get a chance to see the skirmish, but the fight, like when the Eagles went for two, already having them out of the thing, two commanders and an Eagles lineman, like a line, I forget who all it was, but there was a full out brawl. The commanders were ticked. They're like, "You're beating us, and you're going for two. You're a bunch of jerks. Welcome to Philadelphia." But they just there were bunches like three guys. They just threw them out. They're like, "We're not even going to figure out who threw first. We're just throwing all three of you out. It's the end of the game. We'll let the NFL hash it out." But yeah, so if you have DK going into a championship game, if they don't announce anything by Tuesday, just look and see if there's anything you can pick up, or if you throw. I mean, it could mean Gainwell goes really, really bonkers in the championship game because he looks great as a receiver, especially that catch he made to score the first touchdown. Like, yeah.
Talking to punches, I just want to give a quick shout out to Anthony Joshua for absolutely obliterating Jake Paul's face. I mean, it was a brutal. The fight itself wasn't all that great. I mean, the first 4 rounds they were kind of just doing whatever. I thought, well, here we go again, typical Jake Paul fight. And then Anthony Joshua started to actually box. Literally, I mean, he literally broke Jake Paul's face. And there's a still photo of Jake Paul's top of his face is here, and his jaw is like over here. It was dreadful, but I'm glad to see Jake Paul get his face pounded on.
We're such good people. Merry Christmas, Jake Paul. You got your coal already. Okay, let's jump right into.
Surefire waste of a touchdown.
Okay, got a couple this week. Not a whole bunch. Tried to look at a couple that might have affected playoffs and teams that are going on. So let's go to Thursday night. Matthew Stafford just went ballistic. If I had started him over Josh Allen, I'd be in the championship game. Matthew Stafford MVP, baby. Matthew Stafford had a 3-yard pass. Imagine if it was to Puka, how disgusting that would have been. But nope. Rookie tight end Terrence Ferguson, who's starting to appear a little bit. He might be a name for like a deep sleeper tight end next year to keep an eye on because they run a lot of 2 tight end sets. But yeah, you're not starting him if you're in the playoffs for sure. So that makes that a
Definitely a surefire waste of a touchdown. Yeah, I like that guy. I mean, I think I've picked him up in a random like redraft league once or twice this year and started him. I mean, it really didn't work out, but I mean, yeah, kudos to
he
him.
looks like a receiver too. Like he's a leaner build. It's an interesting. I wonder. if he'll ever get transitioned out or something. Hey, look, he's an odd size. 22-yard rushing touchdown for the Philadelphia Fighting Eagles. I was sitting there worried because I turned around to the TV when they got the 2-point conversion by Saquon because I'm against him. And nope, it wasn't Saquon. Tank Bigsby, one of your old school favorites, had a just breakaway, just broke through, boom, 22-yard touchdown. Good for him, but if you're starting Tank Bigsby, you're probably in the toilet bowl. So that makes that a
surefire waste of a touchdown. Yeah, it's good to know he can still play. So
I hate the Buffalo Bills. I hate everything about the Buffalo Bills because I'm a Dolphins fan. And then I hate them because I love Josh Allen. And I have Josh Allen on 2 of my teams that are really, really, really good. So he didn't throw a single touchdown this week, and he did next to nothing poop. But he did manage to let James Cook run touchdowns. Good for James Cook, who's now the league's leading rusher, actually. We'll see what happens after the game on Monday. But then they gave a touchdown to Ty Johnson. Another one. He's had a couple this year, but in the playoffs, people might have had him if this was like week 13 or 14 because of injuries, but in the playoffs, this is definitely a
surefire waste of a touchdown there. Yeah, all 3 of the running backs I believe got in the end zone. I think Ray Davis caught one too. I got one too.
I was just so mad. I was so mad at that point. I had to stop watching football for a little bit. Then I came back, watched I'm sitting here in a computer room just watching some for the last part. I have my TV set in the basement. I was so mad. Like we took a car over to I had to take a break. I was livid. I haven't been livid about football for a while. That's why I had to step back and go, I always preach this is for fun. I'm doing this for fun. It's just I just got frustrated because he's
frustrating, man.
4-yard rushing touchdown as the Bengals just buried my Dolphins, and Chase Brown buried my Dolphins and 2 of my teams and helped me to bury a team as well. But this wasn't him. He would have had 4 touchdowns if Samaje Perine hadn't had a 4-yard touchdown as well. That would have been crazy for fantasy teams, but that would definitely be a
surefire waste of a touchdown. Yeah, Perine is just that guy that's just always going to be hanging around the NFL. I mean, he's just a career backup. Kudos to him, man.
He's really what Gamer was in the grand scheme. Like
yeah.
What Gamer was just taking that to the next. But it's, I mean, really, if you had Chase Brown at this point, the rest of your team had to be good because he's been kind of pooey as well.
He has definitely underplayed what we thought he was going to.
Yeah, I mean, he was part of my trade with your niece, and he saved my butt and put up a ton of points today. So, here let's go. A 3-yard rushing touchdown. Miami did score, but of course, the extra 3-yard rushing touchdown was by Jalen Wright, who, once again, kind of like Ty Johnson, you might have played 3 or 4 weeks ago, but you're not playing him this week unless you are trifling. So that makes it a
surefire waste of a touchdown. Yeah, I mean, he's an okay running back. He's just going to be hard to get an opportunity behind A-Chain.
And he had that nice breakaway touch. I was like, yeah, something's going good. 6-yard touchdown. I love my tight ends from Bryce Young. You're not starting a tight end for Bryce Young. So good job, Jatavian Sanders. We liked him coming in. He was in the doghouse. He's had an okay-ish year for a tight end. But that's a
surefire waste of a touchdown. Yeah. I mean, hopefully we're not saying his name at this spot next year.
Yeah, I like him. Hopefully so. Problem is there's a lot of mouths to feed over there if Bryce Young can figure it out. 27-yard pass from Jared Goff. Oh, J-Mo. Nope. Amon. Nope. Jameer Gibbs. He did end up getting one, but nope. Khalif Raymond. Yeah, to the punt returner. 27-yard touchdown. That is definitely a
surefire waste of a touchdown. How long has that guy been in the NFL? I feel like he's been in the NFL for like 20 years.
He's probably like 27, but it seems like 37 years. I'm not even pulled his age right now.
Like he's been here forever.
Well, that's all of them. So if you want to see some more, check out one of the last 1 or 2 fantasy turf war shows every Tuesday. There you can go through our Couriers. It'll show up as live on our Couriers site, 9:00 Eastern, 8:00 Central, or whatever your time zone is. You can check it out on Fantasy Turf Wars on YouTube, on X, on Rumble, or just when you get in there, just give me a shout out, ask a question, we'll answer questions. Anything you have on there as you're going to championship. If you want to ask something about next year, if you want to go like, hey, this guy stinks, we're going to do something Christmas themed. That's all I really know. We're getting into that on Tuesday. Have some fun. I get to record that from my in-laws house, so it'll be a different background, and I hope the internet works. So, JJ Wang, give us some wisdom as we go in, and Merry Christmas, everybody.
Yeah, Merry Christmas. I just want to give a shout out to JMU Dukes, who got absolutely mollywopped by the Oregon Ducks. Final score didn't really justify how bad it was, but I think at one point it was like 35-3. Oregon was just too fast. Every time I looked up, there was a wide receiver just running past the defensive backs. I love JMU. You love JMU. I love the fact that they made the playoffs, but at the end of the day, I believe they had absolutely no right to be in.
It's not happening again. They're going to change it.
Country. Same way it goes for Tulsa. Tulane. I mean,
They
Tulane.
got killed even worse.
Yeah,
So,
they
on paper.
yeah, both of these teams had absolutely no right being in the college football playoffs. I mean, I understand why they do it. You know, getting the Cinderella in there is okay, but at the end of the day, this isn't basketball, and you're not putting 64 teams into the tournament. You got 12 teams, so it kind of limits what you can do. And there's a lot of teams out there that deserve it. I would much rather. I hate Notre Dame with a
Oh,
passion,
I no,
but
I
I
love seeing them not get it.
but I would have preferred Notre Dame being in the playoffs over both Tulane and JMU. So yeah, something that definitely has to be fixed. But hey, they made it. Kudos to them. Looks good for the college, but they
I
just did
wanted Duke in there over Notre Dame. Put
they
Duke in there. They won the ACC.
they just did not belong on that field with those guys. So as always, trust yourself and trust the process.